Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. We're going to keep moving on this inline mapper source generator. Last episode, I think we were making some good progress, so I want to continue on with this. First thing I want to do is the types are not in namespaces. So I was starting to do, well, not the types, but what we really want to do is look at the destination type. Because the source type we're going to put in a namespace in and of itself. So yeah, in any event, we have to kind of break up. We can't do this as one interpolated string. We're going to kind of do this in pieces. So actually, I'm going to program here. And let me take out that this is actually within a namespace at first. And then we'll save our using statement is equal to, because we don't, well actually let's do this. Let's go there, and I like testing code by debugging, but I really, as you followed in the last couple of videos, I really don't have much of a choice. I've got to do this. So it will say global namespace. I'm just kind of curious. If I say destination type containing namespace, is there any way to say it's global? Oh yeah. So if it is okay, cool. I didn't know that, but now I do. So we'll say here if not is global namespace, what we're going to do then we're going to say to display string environment new line. Okay. Otherwise, it's just string.empty. Okay. So then in here, what we can say is all this is now the using statement. Okay, so that takes care of that. We have to do a similar thing for the source type. But the problem is, what we need to do is, because we can't just, it's not a one-liner. It has to be broken out with the namespace, the we can do this, var namespace statement. I don't even know if that's a statement. If not, source starting. Starting, leading, whatever. Okay, source type containing namespace is global namespace. If it isn't, then what we want is all that, except not as crappy. So we want to say namespace of that, and then we want to say environment new line. We want one of those in there. Otherwise, we're just going to say string.empty. There's also a twist here. You won't believe step 3, ending statement. We don't need that. We just need to say, no, we do, because we need to put a, I mean, we really don't need to have this formatted all nice, but it just helps for debugging purposes, I think, to do that. Okay, so now what we can say here, yeah, indented text writer, I looked at that, but that's actually in system.code down. Because what we really could do then is actually indent them in if they are there or not, but yeah, I don't know if I want to get that fancy or not. If you understood anything I just said. We also want a new line after that. Okay, so we'll say namespace starting statement and then we say namespace ending statement. All right, so now if I run this, it should look the way it did before because we have all the things. Well, it's okay. Yeah, I took out the namespace, so there is no namespace, and so we just do that. That's actually correct. Okay, so now if I come back in here and I take off that and run that, now we say using tested out. Actually, we will want two spaces in there, or two line things. There. That looks good. So now namespace tested out. Okay. That's all right. That's okay. So we're doing an environment new line. Say namespace test out. We do environment new line. We then put that in there. We do a new line. Except there's already another new line here. Okay. I wonder, is there a way? I was wondering if there's a way to say format like a tab character, but base it off of some, like if you have a namespace, you're going to do 1. If you're not, you're going to do 0. But either way, what happens if we don't? We're going to we'd have a break in there. Yeah, so I think this is right now. Yeah, but that's the problem, is I was like, hey, I want a space in there. Or not space, I want a tab. And it doesn't understand that, does it? Yeah, because they're literals. There we go. Okay, so now if we back to here, say, nope. So it's indented by 1 either way. That's an exercise for the interested reader, which means I'll eventually address that. If the types are not in namespaces, we can't just. That's a good point. Which is we want to say self is. See, now I'm in C#, yeah, no. I can do that. Ah, yes. So we say that. Else, we return no. And I have to now say question mark. Because we don't know if what you're actually giving us is a null or not. And we want to accept nulls. I mean, this is a convention. How would you do this? Do you throw a null reference exception because you basically say I'm not supposed to take nulls, and so the only thing you're supposed to give me is an actual null? I'm sorry, we don't accept nulls, so if you give me something that is null, I could throw an argument null exception and say, no, you can't do that. Or do I say this, which is return null? You know, actually, now that I think about it, I think what I'm going to just do is say, if self is null, I'm going to throw using system argument null exception, name of self. Else we do that. Okay, so now if I run this, not really what I was looking for. Okay, so using system, using tested out, we could actually do that a little cleaner too. Yes, this needs to be drawn back. There we go. So self is null, throw a new argument, null exception, name of self, otherwise new destination. Yeah, okay. So we can change var, you can do var using statements is equal to new hash set of string. No, we want to do sorted set of string. Okay. And can we populate it with because we know we need system. Now we're going to say if not destination goal states, we're going to say using statements add. Okay. Why are you barking? Fine. Just text. Okay. Yeah. We just do that now. Okay, so now our var using statement, we can actually here say string dot join. Whoops, you got to do that here. String dot join on environment new line using statements. And then we can environment. Yes, I know. Okay, fine. I get it. There. And then we take this out and that out. Okay. Now let's run that and see what we get. Oh, we have to say using. Whoops, took that out. Okay, so we need to say using system. Here we need to say using. Except that. Except we need two environment new lines now. That looks a little better. Okay. So that way, if it always puts it, because I like it that way, puts it in new variable. Why did? Oh, because I took it off the. I always keep a stopwatch going. And because I got distracted, I turned it off from that. Okay. Now, if it's in one of the usings, what do I mean by in them? If I have something like inline, like if I have something in inline mapping metadata, if I have it as a using statement, how do I want to say this? If I already have like system dot this dot that, and I'm trying to include something from system, I don't believe I need to actually put the using statement there. So that's what I'm saying. If the namespace is within, and I don't know really how you figure out what is within without doing something that's somewhat complicated. Or maybe it's yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. I think it should be okay. It's just going to look a little weird. But we'll leave this for now because I think I'm close enough where I should actually get this to be working now, I think. So let's go to Git, let's commit. Cleaned up code. So I got all this. Let me close this and go preview. And here's the big test. Is it actually going to give me what I wanted? So if I come to host, and I say program here, now let's just say what happens if I go var destination is equal to source dot. Yeah, it doesn't exist. Crap. Why? Just make sure it does reference it correctly. Okay. So let's bring in these types. And I'm just curious. I didn't realize that. Let's just make these records for a second. Because what it might be getting confused, this is a question I had and I posted somewhere. I gotta look to see if it actually ever got resolved. Yeah, it doesn't like, I don't like, code doesn't like records and inits. I don't know why. So let's actually just make these classes. And the reason I did this is because you're going to see once I do this what's going to pop in. Okay. It should start saying something about these are, oh, because I took the, that's why. Okay, that's fine. So let's change this to being a class set. Okay, so now clear all that out. Come back here to program. You're still not going to know what destination is, do you? Oh, you do now. Source.map. See, this again is where I get confused because the video I saw shows the generators like happening constantly. Let's do console.out.write line. Let's say source.id destination ID. Why don't you know what that is? Oh, because it thinks there's an error there. It's kind of cute though that it doesn't. Like it has an error on map to destination, but it doesn't have errors here. So if I, well, this is gonna, yeah, not. We want the host to actually run now. Okay, you just, I thought you just worked. Again, this is something that I'm going to have to watch in the video. I wonder why it does that too. Like, it'll always put that there and it doesn't actually reference the right thing. Okay, so we still got problems. Let's come over here. And we need to say here, do that using system, because we know we're going to need that. And we need to come here. We need to take that. Okay, so now we need to come to the test host and make sure that is running. If self is null, you throw that, otherwise. Oh, can you not do that? And it's also interesting here that it does not find Oh, that's right, it shouldn't. It's doing the right thing because it doesn't find the when and the destination. So it does the right thing. Though why this is formatted the way it is a little weird. So what we're going to do test generated. Is that actually legal code? Well, it doesn't know what source and destination is. Just put this in here. And we don't care about that right now. Okay, that looks okay. So like I was hoping it wasn't going to actually. Yeah, that's fine. Well, this kind of sucks because now I'm stuck again. It looks like it's actually generating the right thing. But when I'm actually saying go generate, it's not. I don't like it that it has a yellow triangle there. Like, why? Why is there a yellow triangle there? It's just there. Good luck trying to figure that one out. This sucks. I'm so close. You know, it should work. Why wouldn't it? It's an inline mapping host. Namespace inline mapping host. Source 2. No. Okay. I'm going to try one more thing. Which is what somebody said. Debugger launch. Are you even running? Which one is the preview? I could do it right in here. Why not? Let's just see what happens. Okay, so we debugged. At least we're getting debugged. Okay. It knows that. Do we have candidates? We have one candidate. Okay. Candidate class symbol is a source. It's not null. Let's come into here. Destination type is a destination. We have that. Come into here. Okay, so we're adding that. So we got the 2. Okay. So we should have InlineMapping host using system. Namespace. Well, they're the same, so yeah, if they're the same, you don't need them. Though I don't think that would actually break stuff. I mean, that should still work, right? Well, I'm going to have to stop. It should be mapped to destination. So I don't know why. That wouldn't screw it up so badly that I can't even compile, would it? It would just say it's unused. You wouldn't need it. I'm just curious, because I'm a curious fellow. Somewhere within here, and I know there's this whole, like, where does the code actually go? Yeah, it's not even building, so it doesn't even put anything there. Yeah, I don't know why. It looks like it's working the way it should. So, yeah, I have no idea why this is failing now. And this sucks. Error. Wait. Destination is not containing different. Wait, what was that? Destination does not contain a definition for when, and no accessible extension method when accepting a first argument of type destination. That's... Hold on. Hold everything. Hold the phone. If I make this, because the source should give me ID and name, and it does. I know I'm going over here. ID name, because it can't map when. It doesn't know how to map when. So then that's weird though, that that's kind of a, wait. I see, no, I am not. InlineMapping host program. God dang it. Oh, I'm an idiot. Well, that's not gonna help this. it is going to fix that because that's where the problem was. Okay. Still going to fail. Wait, what's love me? Oh, sweet. Sweetness, total sweetness. Source.map to use. Still don't show the method, but it's there. Yeah, I was being a total idiot. Because all you have here is, and it doesn't show the error. So what you need to say here is destination age. Yep. So we're going to say ID, name. Look at that. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Sweet. I don't have records working yet. I don't have, well, no, everything else is working. It's just not showing up right away. Oh, this is so good. I'm doing a user group presentation on Thursday with this, and I can include this example now. I'm very, very happy. Very ecstatically happy. I hope I could figure out records. I might be able to do that later. Maybe I'll do that tonight after I get back from my son's mountain biking practice. Now I probably curse myself that I'm going to fly over the handlebars and break my arms or something. But no, this is so sweet. This is exactly what I wanted, because now you can actually build a mapper that has all the code generated inlined. And the thing I want to really test now is this faster than AutoMapper, which, really that's not the intent of this. This is mostly as a demo. I have absolutely no intentions of ever, like Rocks has no intentions of ever being a replacement for MOQ or N substitute. I've said this many times before. If people use it, great, but I don't have, and I know there's been so much backlash against unit tests and mocking by people, and I think that's pretty silly, to be honest. It's a tool, use it effectively, and if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work in circumstances, great too. Why be so dogmatic about things? But yeah, this is a tool that I'm just out there, and I know people have been have complained about auto mapping in general, or just mapping in general, and that AutoMapper, it went way beyond what I think the original author intended, and kind of regrets. And so yeah, I'm just doing this mostly as an example to show, hey, you can do these things with source generators. I really have no intention of making this so that it's so configurable and extensible. It's just going to do what I'm pretty much showing here. It's like if it can find matches, it can. If you have to do something custom, then don't put the attribute on your class and do a custom mapping. Probably going to be easier in the long run to maintain. That's all this is. But if you do this compared to something like where you're trying to do this through reflection, which might be a more fair, comparison. Now that I talk about it, it's like don't compare it necessarily to AutoFac, although I might still do that too in my test. Compare it to what would I do if I wanted to do this via reflection at runtime, and see what the comparison is with data. So that might be something I do tonight. I'll actually commit this, and with a new project that's kind of hinting, okay, we want to do some performance tests and performance analysis and see where this goes. But this was a huge step. Very, very happy. I should just put the focus right on enter a message. It works. Yeah, it works. Cool. So I'm going to stop right now and do a little bit more progress later on. So thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.